Hey everybody, I'm Quinn.
And I'm Scott. It's time for the Almost Friday show for October 21st, 2010.
Before we get it kicked off, we just want to remind you guys, we went to the Henry's Imaging Show last week, and there's a whole bunch of videos we did all weekend long that you can check out on our site. We want to thank Shape and Sennheiser for helping us out with some gear during the show. It was much appreciated. So if you do want to check out all those videos, you can go find them. You can search Henry's Camera on our website if you can't find the posts, and you'll be directed right to them. But this week, we're going to be talking about Top Gear coming to the USA. It's got a date now. So, you know, when it's actually watch it.
We can actually start maybe thinking about watching it.
Yeah.
Or thinking about not watching it if you really, are me. Play
Or something like that.
And then Tech Insight, we're talking about basically a wrap-up. There's been a lot of stuff happening. Last week we didn't do a show, and then so we got 2 weeks of stuff to cover, so we're going to give you the best of what we can do without going on and on and on and on.
It's going to be a bit of a shorter show because we're not doing Behind the Lens because we did a bunch of camera stuff last week, and Dave's away, so you're just looking at Off the Press and Tech Insight, and we've got a good lull of the week for you this week.
Some laughs for the end.
As always. Without further ado, it's time for Off the Press.
Hey everyone, welcome to Off the Press this week. Starting off, we got some exciting Top Gear news. Yay! So it's no surprise that, well, we've mentioned it a bunch of times here before that we love Top Gear at Almost Friday Show.
Cars are cool.
So, on November 21st, strap yourselves in and tune into the History Channel because that's when it's going to air in the States. No word on time or if it's going to air in Canada yet.
So, I'm getting kind of this weird vibe here.
That it's not going to come to Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we have the internet.
Hey, maybe Netflix will have it.
I doubt that. Yeah. There will also be a Stig for sure, because there was kind of some news earlier that it's like, is there going to be an American Stig? There might not be an American Stig, but...
You know what I'm happy about?
What?
From the pictures that they showed, at least he's not wearing red, white, and blue. I'm very happy they did not over-Americanize
Or he's
this
not
thing.
fat, like Stig's American cousin. I think this is Stig's other American cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, they didn't overdo the American theme, which I'm very happy
We
about.
haven't seen the back of his helmet yet. We don't know.
I'll be okay with the back of the helmet. I'm just like, as long as he's not dressed up like, Super Dave Osborne.
Oh.
Like, that would worry
I
me.
can see that happening in an episode.
Oh, God.
Mostly just for fun. So moving on to other things that would worry Sean, Leonardo DiCaprio is set to produce a new Twilight Zone TV show.
Not entirely too worried about this. More along the lines of,
So this has basically been confirmed. They've hired a couple of writers to do this. I think it's just confirmed for a pilot, so there's nothing too much to worry about. But judging from the most recent Twilight Zone series, it only lasted one season, thank God.
Yeah, it was not very
a little
pleasant.
dubious.
Hopefully, though, because it is DiCaprio, Leo's been doing good works.
He is really into the
hopefully-
sci-fi and
Yeah.
all this stuff, so he
Hopefully,
probably has to get
this
off
kind of he'll do it properly because I've got this feeling that he really doesn't want to fail
Well,
at
he's just
things.
producing it, so
Well, still.
he still has some say in it, but
Yeah.
not as much say as the writers and directors.
I'm hoping the writers are good because
So again, still there's no word on a release date or how long it's going to run or anything. It's just, it's happening soon.
Mr. Serling, I know you're out there somewhere and you will never be replaced.
He is spinning in his grave
Probably.
so fast. So much spinning.
Oh well.
And some good news, something that we actually know it's coming out now.
Yeah!
The Hobbit!
The movies!
2 of them.
They're coming out.
For reals this time, most likely.
Maybe.
No, it's pretty damn likely it's coming out.
I heard that before as well, so
Yeah, what
I'm
we
still
said
I'm
last
leaving it in
time.
my maybe pile.
But it's so almost sort of kind of for reals, they have a Bilbo announced.
Oh, who's it?
Martin Freeman, he played Watson in the latest Sherlock miniseries by the BBC, and Arthur Dent in Hitchhiker's Guide.
Excellent.
Also the most recent one. It's kind of exciting. If you want to see more of the cast that's been announced, just head on over to our show notes and click the link. Gandalf stayed the same, Elrond is the same actor, and Gollum is also the same actor.
So they're still using Ian McKellen,
Yeah.
they're still using
Hugo Weaving.
Hugo Weaving,
King
and they're
of the
still
Nerds.
using Andy Serkis.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So they've all stayed the same. There's some other minor characters that are the same from Lord of the Rings also.
I'm cool with
So
that.
they've all been signed. There's still some kind of doubt about what's going to happen with the workers working behind the scenes, because it's been in pre-production hell, but it's kind of sort of maybe probably for reals this time.
And you know what? I'm actually rather interested to see this one, because I did like The Hobbit.
That's, of the Lord of the Rings books, that's the only one I actually finished, but I got through most of the way of the first one, but I couldn't finish it.
And you know what? The other thing is, it's not going to be like Return of the King. The best thing about
the
The
5
Hobbit,
endings?
it will not have 5 endings. It will have one ending.
Yeah, it'll only end once. It'll only fade to white once.
Yes.
Not
I
5 times.
hope. I hope they don't add... Anyway. But it's coming out.
Yeah.
Check it out.
And something that came out for Android last weekend? Yeah, last weekend. Angry Birds for Android, for reals.
I can't get excited anymore.
He's
I've
got
jumped
an
ship.
iPhone. But in its first 24 hours, it didn't sell because it was free, but it was downloaded 1 million times.
Holy crap.
So that is 83,333.33 dozens for rejoicing.
I wish I was one of them.
In its second day, it went up to 2 million.
Holy crap.
And it's been steadily sort of growing ever since.
One day Angry Birds will just take over the world.
What's interesting about this is that it's free for Android, but it's also ad supported, which is kind of cool. So they're rolling in the dough, I guess.
Yeah.
So they don't even have to charge $1 for this. But I kind of would like to get an ad-free version for $1 or $2 even, just because the ads are. I think they're doing crazy things to my phone, but it could just be my phone and it's kind of janky.
That's why I got rid of mine.
Whatever. And one last kind of really epic thing. Last weekend also, Blizzard released their the intro cinematic for Cataclysm a week ahead of BlizzCon, which is happening right now. This looks really epic. So you get to see Deathwing blowing the shit out of Azeroth.
I don't know anything about WoW, but all I know is this dragon thinger inside the video
He's
looks
called
like...
Deathwing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this Deathwing thing looks a lot like Megabyte from, the reboot cartoon.
If he was
Because
a
of his
dragon.
chin. Yeah,
Yeah.
if he went into a game and had to, change and be a dragon, that is him.
So-
Matter of fact, I'm now convinced Deathwing is nothing more than just Reboot Alive with Megabyte, the virus.
So just check out this clip and see for yourself.
But epic.
Heaves with my torment. Its wretched kingdoms quake beneath my rage. But at last, the whole of Azeroth will break. And all will burn beneath the shadow of my wings.
Yeah, that's definitely Megabyte.
Sort of.
I don't care. It's his chin. It's either going to be Megabyte or it's going to be Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell, the dragon,
Yeah.
raining
it's the-
death on Azeroth.
Yeah.
So,
But still an epic clip. As a non-WoW player, I do appreciate what they're trying to do.
well, it's all of Blizzard's cinematics, so they've always been like
That's true.
cream of the crop.
Because I was Warcraft 3 is when I got into...
Even back then, their cinematics were really good.
Yeah. I remember having a video card where it was like, you need this video card to play this. And I'm like, haha! I have that. And because it was just that good.
Yeah. So if you want to see for yourself, just head on over to our show notes. And that's it for Off the Press this week. And now on to Tech Insight.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tech Insight. We're kicking it off with Back to the Mac. So, everyone's been hearing all kinds of new stuff about iPhones and iPads and iOS and all this kind of stuff. And people are like, hey, what about the Mac? And so Apple was like, all right, we're going to do a presentation about the Mac. And then everyone's like, I hope we're going to hear about the new iPhone. And it was like,
But wait, didn't we just Ask
Well, no,
for
the
that.
whole is the Verizon iPhone CDMA thing.
So, everyone complained that there wasn't enough Mac news, and then when they announced they were going to do one about Mac, everyone complained that there wasn't enough iPhone
But
news.
the thing is, when Apple announces they're going to do anything, they're like, iPhone?
Yeah, I know.
Like, oh, I thought of it. Maybe they'll sneak in an iPhone announcement.
Yeah.
You're like, probably not. But there was a decent amount announced.
Yes, and they did stick to the Mac. There was no phone really going on
It's
there.
kind of little iOS, kind of...
Well, a little iOS and the idea that
Throwback iOS to the Mac.
yes.
Yeah.
So, obviously we know that the iOS operating system has been really popular, and Apple's trying to think of ways that they can integrate it with the new line of products, and that is where the core of this presentation, the new OS X Lion, which is going to be likely the last version of OS X, because I think beyond this we're probably going to see an entire different paradigm of an operating system from them, because we're starting to push more towards that.
OSI, XI.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, what they've done for the most part is they've added some more sort of iOS-like features to it. They've got this new thing called Launchpad, where you can bring up a whole bunch of apps on your screen and flip through the pages of them like an iPad. You can do that with touch gestures, either on a trackpad, or if you buy their Magic Mouse, or if you buy their Magic Trackpad, because they all support the touch gestures. They've also done this really cool new thing called Mission Control, which essentially is an ability to bring Expose and Spaces and Launchpad and Dock all together in one. So you click this one button, and all of a sudden you'll see everything like you would in Expose, but stacked, as well as any closed windows. And so, as part of this new Mission Control, they've added this full screen view mode, where essentially you can open up like a PDF or a photo in a full screen that's going to fill the whole screen, and with a gesture you can swipe away from it back to your desktop, or back to it, or flip through pages or things like that. So if you're using Mission Control, you'll also see those full screens. So being a really big Expose user myself, I'm excited for Mission Control, because I think it's a really good integration of everything to get to wherever you need to be on your Mac with one button press, essentially.
Yeah, the only thing I really found disappointing is it's really just a change in user interface.
It is, yeah.
They didn't talk about any new features in the OS at all.
Now the thing is, it's still not
So-
coming out till next year, so
Yeah, so
I'm assuming...
I'm hoping to hear some things that'll actually make it worth having a major
I'm
revision.
sure there'll be some stuff in January or springtime before it comes out that's going to talk about some of the new core features of it. Obviously they're going to be working more 64-bit than previous operating system and
I
stuff
would
like
hope
that.
so.
Probably more
Yeah,
stuff
they're-
that's Cocoa supported.
They're seriously lagging behind the 64-bit performance.
Yeah.
Well, it's there. It's just you have to boot into it.
No, I know, but if you look at Windows,
Yeah, you
they're
have
selling just 64-bit OSs now, more or less, on new computers.
Now, the flip side of that argument is I deal with a lot of customers that have 64-bit operating systems, and constantly I have people that have driver issues with things like printers and scanners and
Manufacturer's
cameras and stuff.
problem.
I understand, but Apple somehow managed to circumvent that by having...
never supporting almost everything.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Honestly, it's difficult.
You can't put that... It's not worth talking about, because the amount of things that Windows supports is like this compared to the amount of things that Apple supports.
Well, I guess I
So
feel more like
it's
from
kinda
the
like-
printer, camera, peripheral standpoint, there's a pretty large number of things that Mac just sort of plug and play supports.
I guess, but Windows 7 doesn't have these problems.
Yeah.
I guess.
Vista, yeah, but...
Let's not mention that. Let's not remember Vista.
Yeah. But anyway,
That gets
we're not
really
here to
hard.
talk about Windows.
No.
They've also decided to launch a new app store.
Which I'm extraordinarily concerned about.
Yeah, that seems kind of strange to me.
Well, the thing is...
No, I think it's not strange. I think it makes perfect sense from where Apple's coming from.
Yes.
Because it worked really well for them in mobile.
Okay.
Not to mention they're making money off it, which they're going to continue to do, which is one of the problems I have with it. They're doing 70-30 profit sharing again.
Which is the same for developing for the iPhone or iPad.
Which I think is a bit of a slap in the face to most developers. But if you want to do it, you want to do it. But the thing is, it gets this whole into the walled garden thing again. And the App Store, they've released the App Store, or some of the App Store restrictions. Some of them are ridiculous.
Yeah, it's vague and weird, kind of like the iPhone as well. I guess my thing about the App Store is that because on your iPhone you don't have any other way unless you're jailbroken to get apps. So I understand how that market runs, and it has to run well, because if it doesn't, then you're upset because it's the only
apps,
way to get apps. Whereas I feel with the Mac App Store, if it doesn't go anywhere, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
But if it goes somewhere, then it's a good jump-in point for someone who might be looking for software and doesn't want to have to scour through the web to find the solution they're looking for. I mean, I don't see a downside to it because it's going to make things easier if people pick it up and develop with it and work with it. And if nobody does, then we're in the exact same place we are right now using an Apple computer.
Okay.
It's a good point, but I could very easily see Apple saying, sorry, you want to make an app for the Mac? It has to go in the App Store.
I think they'll never be able to do that because of, at least not for a long time, because of the already backwards built that Apple is.
I could see Apple do that in 2 years.
I could
I
too.
think pretty easily, because that's the kind of company they are.
Yeah.
And they have done things that absurd in the past.
Well, then they'd have to start building their operating system to limit apps that don't come through an app store. And I think if that happened, that would start a demise of Apple. I think.
Look at the no. It
It
wouldn't, because
wouldn't.
Apple can do that kind of stuff and get away with it.
Don't
That's
forget.
the thing.
I think they can do it on a phone and get away with it. I don't know that they can do it and get away with it on a computer.
But that's this whole thing, right?
If it
They're-
doesn't work, they just
They're
ditch it.
synergizing their systems.
I suppose.
So it's not. That's why you see the iOS stuff coming back to the. I'm not saying it's going to happen in Lion. I'm not saying it's going to happen with maybe the revision after that. But this is definitely the direction they're looking. And if
Wow.
I'm sitting there being Steve Jobs and I'm like, if I can make 30% off every single piece of software sold on my Mac,
And let's
I guess.
face it,
And-
there's
and
some
if you-
hardcore.
if
freaking
Apple came
people
out and
there.
did that, the people would still buy the Macs and the developers would have to cave.
Yeah.
I suppose. I can tell you honestly, if Apple ever did that, I'd walk away from Apple. I'd draw the line there. Because
You would be one man to do that, but there are
It'd be
there are
interesting.
plenty out there who would just be like,
I definitely think it's the
"Eh."
same market of people who don't care at all about jailbreaking, because it's
Yeah.
just the phone works. So I get that there's a huge market of just people that want their computer to work and it's easy and it works, and so they're fine with it. But I also think on the computer side of things, especially on the Mac side of things, you have 50% of people that buy it because it's trendy or it works well or something like that, or you have the other percentage of people that like it because of what they can do with it, and they won't stand for that.
No. And
So I hedge my bets that Steve Jobs wouldn't do it because I think he'd alienate too much of his client base.
I think it'll be interesting to see
Yeah.
what develops there. But I will play the devil's advocate there. Is if you're a beginner Mac user, App Store makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So
And
much sense.
that's entirely who it's geared towards.
I think so.
Or
yeah.
even the enthusiast that's just like lazy and doesn't want to have
Well,
to
yeah,
find the
because
solution by
I-
searching the internet.
I'll tell you. Okay, I'm a moderate to advanced Linux user, and when Ubuntu released the App Store kind of thing they have, I was like, sweet. I don't have to go digging for friggin'
Yeah.
links to go and
Yeah,
use
well,
apt-get. It
yeah.
was just like I can browse through and see what's in the depository. I'm like, and I know how to use it all. I just didn't want to go look for it because it was way easier to find something in there.
Yeah, because I mean, you can still go through Google for Linux and go like, I want this, but it's just not the same.
But it also differentiates Mac from Windows in a good way, right?
Yeah.
It kind of goes, yeah, you could get a Windows PC, but then, it's not as easy to get the software you want to get. You
Yeah.
still have to go through the browser and download it and all that, and install it and that kind of stuff.
I
It's not
think
as-
it'll be a really great spin item.
it's good, yeah.
Because then they can, like Scott's saying, it'd be perfect for people trying to get them to Switch.
Yeah.
Like-
I think it's actually a good feature. Like, I would probably use it.
And I'm interested to see where it's going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I provided they don't get ridiculous with the restrictions, there won't be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, they also updated iLife, so they brought out iLife 11. Only changed, well, I think they changed stuff and everything, but they really only highlighted
Yeah.
iPhoto, iMovie, and GarageBand, which
Yep.
arguably are the three most popular
Yeah,
ones of that series.
Who else
Sure.
gonna-
In iPhoto, not a huge amount of revisions. What they really emphasize is this full screen viewing mode.
Okay.
So now when you're in full screen viewing, you can have better access to your albums, better access to editing. What it does is it does backwards compatibility with Facebook now. So before you could access Facebook and you could upload directly to Facebook, and if
Okay.
you tagged people, they'd get tagged in Facebook.
Okay.
Now what happens is if once you connect to a Facebook account, you can actually view all the albums you have on Facebook
cool, okay.
through
Oh.
iPhoto.
So it actually works both ways now.
And,
Yeah.
and then the tagging also comes back through iPhoto. So when other people tag, it'll tag your
that-
library.
That's a cool feature.
Which
That
is
is a
which
really
is really
good
cool.
feature.
But I
I
like
like
the
that.
idea that you can look at your library in a more considerably more user-friendly way without
Yeah.
actually having to have it all installed on your computer.
Yeah, because I mean, like the few photos that I do have are still kind of like scrolling through it. It's like,
Well, see, I'd
God, why
like
can't I
to
just-
have my photos tagged.
Yeah.
Because that's super useful for finding that photo that we were at that bar this time with the
yeah,
guys. Or
oh,
whatever.
here it is.
But I never do that. When I put stuff on Facebook, I never tag it, but other people tag my stuff for me. So now will that come back? It'd be sweet.
Yeah. So they optimize full screen views for like the map and for your albums and for events and everything like that, as well as editing. Editing has a better full screen view. So it's really designed so that you should work in full screen. You get the best benefit from the program when you do.
What they do for GarageBand?
Well, we'll get to that.
iMovie was, I think, the big token.
Yeah. The two other things that they did for iPhoto was that they added some new books and they added some new cards and they added some new slideshows, which actually look really nice.
Okay.
So if you are a fan of the slideshows, they've added some pretty cool new ones as well.
It's something they know how to put together. Right?
Absolutely. It's always amazing what kind of products Apple can just go in. There, you've created.
Yeah.
You know, iPhoto really is a great application for that. Now, in iMovie, what they've done is they've added audio editing, which is something we didn't have previously.
That's awesome.
Now, arguably, they did it in an incredibly intelligent way.
I would say appropriate way.
Yes.
Because they didn't give you stupid amounts of control. They didn't make it really complicated like you would in like Premiere or something where you could actually go to an extra separate piece of software to do your audio editing. But they did it in a way where, yes, you can go in and change the levels. You can see your waveform. You can
Now,
see where
what's
it's
really
loud,
cool
where it's
about
not.
it is that you can see it as a separate track. The audio shows up as a separate track for all your clips, and you can make that larger or smaller. But what's really cool is they basically have a clipping line on it that will show you in yellow things that have gone above a clipping point, so that you can just really quickly look through and go, okay, drop that part down, and okay, drop that
That's
part
really
down.
useful.
So you can very easily adjust the parts that are over clipping. So there's a little bit more audio control. If you were someone who was putting together movies on it, you really only had control over the track in its entirety. So now you've got a little bit more peak and valley control with it.
Because I mean, like when
which
we were
is-
doing the editing, like for the Henry show, I went a little OCD on a couple of the clips because it was like blatantly like whoa, really loud, and then quiet. And having something where it would actually give me a visual cue, especially not just seeing the actual waveform, but a colored cue that says this is really friggin' loud.
It's for someone who doesn't know what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. If you don't necessarily like. Someone's not going to know that there's a certain level that waves should not go above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Because you will see clip waves.
So everything's going to be blue, and then you'll see these yellow sections, and you go,
So
oh,
you'll
I
know
can
to
fix
do
that.
something.
So really easy. They added a couple cool instant effects. They've got a slowdown, or an instant replay, as they call it. So you throw that on, and it takes a couple seconds and does a slowdown with a tag right afterwards.
Cool.
They've got a really cool video beat matching. So when you put music in, you can actually take a clip and do out the beats, and it'll actually cut the clip to sort of move along to the beats, which is really cool, and arguably something that's difficult to do.
Yeah.
But the coolest one they've done is a flash freeze. So basically what happens is when you choose a point, it's going to take a picture of that, and basically it's going to flash it and then do a Ken Burns pull out on it, so that you have that sort of motion freeze in the picture, which is something really hard to do. Well, not really hard to do, but it takes some knowledge to be able to do that in good video editing. So it's cool to see they've added that stuff.
They also added movie trailer mode. I just want to get this going. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
kind of dwelling. So the movie trailer mode's actually really cool, but go check out the videos. It's kind of
The really cool thing is they have storyboarding, which allows you to, without having to think about how to build a trailer, be able to put a trailer together.
it's
So
pretty
That's
cool.
useful.
GarageBand quickly.
Flex time and groove matching are the really cool ones.
Yeah.
Groove matching allows you to choose a beat that's consistent and sync all your other instruments to it just instantly.
Oh, thank God.
And then this flex time allows you to basically go in and adjust waveforms to lengthen or shorten beats or things like that. So if you have a guitar strum and you want it to be a little bit longer, you can basically do that and pull it out, and it's going to stretch out the beat or shorten the beat, which is really cool, and it's really good if you are someone who's doing some entry-level audio recording with it. These are really great features to have to just take your production up a little bit.
That's really cool.
It's auto-tuning the band, essentially.
Things that are really fun to play with, please don't depend on them from a musician's point of view. Also, they added a pile more lessons and things like that.
Yeah, new lessons, lesson practice mode where it'll actually get you to play and tell you how you're doing.
Yeah.
As well as some new amps and new effects and stuff like that.
So pretty
Wonder
cool.
if they've
So
added banjo lessons.
if you're an iLife user, iLife 11 is definitely worth.
Definitely.
We're moving
And they've dropped the price too. It used to be $80 for iLife. It's now $50 for iLife in Canada.
Ooh.
So $30 cheaper for some new stuff. Gotta like that.
Gotta jump on that.
Quickly to wrap up the Mac stuff, they also released, we knew this was coming, the MacBook Air. I love this MacBook Air.
I do too.
Which I thought I would never say in my life.
It's a really cool product.
There's two models, 11.6 and 13.4.
Yes, I believe
Yeah.
so.
Anyway, there's two different models. They're basically identical, except the 13.4 is just a little bit better.
Yes.
So you get a little bit more processor, you get a little bit, a decent amount more storage, actually.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, they're all solid-state storage,
Yeah, flash storage.
not drives.
Ah.
Which is good and bad. I mean, you can't upgrade, and repairs are going to cost you millions. But
That's why you buy an extended warranty.
It will be quick. No optical drive, just like the old Air.
Yep.
0.11 inches. On
Tiny.
Yeah.
Tiny.
Can literally cut cheese.
Yeah, it's quite small. It's 0.4 inches at the thickest, or 0.37 or something like that.
And because you're using the flash memory, it's instant on. So you touch
Yeah.
that button, computer's booted,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. It's running OS X, not iOS, thank God.
Yeah.
The 11.6 inch at bottom line specs is starting at 1049 in Canada. Which is reasonable. I kind of want the 13, and that brings
Which
it
is
up
13.
to 1300,
Yeah.
which still isn't terrible considering how small it is. They're boasting, what, 7-hour battery life?
Yeah, and they're doing it with a new, more stringent battery test, so they actually believe that you'll get more than that because they're doing it on harder conditions than
Yeah.
they used to test them.
Okay.
So the old one got 5 hours on the more loose testing, and the new one has 7 hours on the stricter testing, so they say that, you know, you should be able to get at least 7 hours.
So also cutting it right down to an actual flash storage.
Oh, and
is really going to save.
Yeah, and
Oh,
the other
yeah.
thing too is it's 7 hours of actual use, 30 days of standby.
Yeah,
Holy crap.
because when you're in standby, it's using
Virtually
literally no
nothing,
power. It
yeah.
doesn't have to spin up disks when you come back and things
Yeah.
like that.
It's even better.
But I'm just going to go ahead and say this. The MacBook Air is no longer a douche computer.
Yeah.
No.
If you own one, a new one, not an old one, still a douche, you're okay.
Well, because the price is not ridiculous.
Exactly.
anymore.
It's not $2,800.
I mean, it's still expensive. You're buying a high class netbook for the most part. You know, it's a little bit bigger than
it's
a
a
netbook.
little out of the range of performance, but not too far.
Yeah.
But you know what? It is actually something that when I first saw it announced, I'm kind of sitting there like, oh, come on. But yeah, looking through it, looking at the specs, looking at everything, it's kind of like, yeah, I could see myself possibly owning
I
one.
think the most exciting thing is, what are they going to do with the MacBook line next year?
Yes, this is the exciting end.
Now that something needs to change there because it's too close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So that's the latest from Apple. A little dragged on, but that's okay.
Yep.
Next
It
up,
happens when we talk about Apple.
it always yeah. So we're gonna go to HP. Or Palm, really. They've announced WebOS 2.0,
Oh, okay.
which
Looks amazing.
Looks really cool.
I mean, I've always said that WebOS is one of the.
I think it's the
I think it's the best operating system
Well,
out there from a usability standpoint.
when it came out there, you're just like, it somehow made something really original.
Yeah.
When everyone else was doing the same thing.
And it seemed to just make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
The big thing about WebOS 2.0 and why it took so long to release is because it is a synergized OS that will work with tablets and smartphones. And this is other than iOS, which kind of went smartphone and then developed. So this is kind of built from up to be for both. So that's why it took a little longer because they had apps resolution things to work out and things like that. So it's pretty exciting. Big features, multitasking. They've gone to town on that.
Yeah.
Excellent.
They use a panel view now,
Yeah.
so when you're flipping through, you can have stacks behind it, which is kind of
And
cool.
you can have them
flip
organized by whatever kind of app and stuff.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty well done the way it's running. And they have a new Just Type feature.
Yep.
It's kind of like integrated search.
Yes.
From what I understand, you can kind of just start typing and it'll
And
look
they've
up.
added more for their actually synergy connections, and now you can have things like LinkedIn and
And
Yahoo
Wikipedia
accounts, and
and-
like a
yeah.
lot of accounts that you have, you can have it linked
Yeah.
all together. So it's really pulling down from
Yeah.
a ton of stuff, as well as better control. Because it used to be when you linked Facebook, you got everything, and you didn't really want
You had no
everything.
choice.
So now you have a bit more control over what you're connected to and what you're getting.
which
from
is
it.
really what they needed.
Yeah.
I think it looks good. I think it looks clean. I'm excited to see tablets. No word on WebOS tablets.
So
Just so they're clear, they're going to make it. WebOS 2.0 is going to be on there, but that's mum's the word.
Want to
That's
see
there.
them though. Definitely want to.
I
see
think
this.
next. I hope first quarter 2011 HP. 2011 first quarter. Do it.
So I'm going to show you a picture right here. This is the Palm Pre 2. Hey, looks
Hey,
exactly
look
like
at
the
that.
Palm Pre Plus.
But-
And that's because it pretty much is.
It is
Yeah.
with a spec boost,
Yes.
which is important.
So they went to a 1 gigahertz processor and
Which-
512 of
yeah.
RAM, but they've left the screen the same, which some people complained about.
Eh.
They've also done the entire thing.
I think
the
it's the screen's the
matte
same
coating.
size. It's not the same screen.
It's the same resolution.
Yes, but it's not the same screen. The touch
Yeah,
sensitivity is
yeah.
different.
Yes.
So that's supposed to be nicer. 5 megapixel camera now.
Correct, yeah.
No
Okay.
front facing.
No.
I think they maybe.
I think they're kind of passing on that.
Yeah.
For now, anyways.
fair enough. I mean, if it's not something you want, if you don't want to get into the whole FaceTime thing,
Yeah.
But I think with WebOS on that, you'll get rid of some sluggish things that people were dealing with on like the original Palm Pre, not necessarily the Plus. But
Yeah.
Well, that's
I
something
think
that I
if you have
wish.
the Plus, you still got a good phone, so.
yeah.
Do we know of anybody who do you think will be carrying this?
Okay,
Because I would love to play.
They did
with
not
it.
announce carriers
Okay.
purposely, which means they did not announce what kind of phone it is,
Well,
GSM or CDMA.
They do have carrier for UK, though.
Okay.
and France.
France is the first one to get it.
France
so.
got it tomorrow, sometime this week or next week. France gets it
Really
early,
soon.
And then the U.S. and Canada gets it in coming months. So Canada is getting it, which is awesome.
We'll probably see it be Bell because Bell already carries Palm.
Likely
Yeah.
Bell, yeah, because they have the original Pre. They never got the Pre Plus. They never got the Pixie.
Yeah.
But who knows? So I'd like to see this in GSM up here, please.
Yes.
That would be great.
I like to play with it mostly because it
If
looks
it's
like
in
it's
GSM, I will buy it as a second phone.
It looks
Yeah.
good. It
Yeah.
does. I think it has a chance.
Yeah.
Especially with HP's money bags backing it. Mobile world moving on. Windows Phone 7 got announced last week, and we didn't get to talk about it, and I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it.
We'll just say
But-
tons of handsets.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What, 30?
So
Some
far-
sort of ridiculous
10?
number.
The last-
I think
the
there's
last
at
number I
least
saw
like
was
8 from
20.
HTC.
Yeah.
Yeah, Samsung has some HTC, LG. Dell has one announced that's not yet released. It's coming. They
I
all
think
look...
Motorola might have one. too.
Motorola's got one rolling out apparently.
They're in talks.
Okay.
There's some weird
This
stuff going
is
on
something
with
that-
Microsoft, but
People have been waiting for a long time. People were getting very leery about who's going to make the phones for it. What's its scope?
I think because there's so many manufacturers, it has a chance.
I think so too.
If there wasn't,
They're playing the Android card.
Yeah,
they're
definitely.
Going for
playing
saturation.
They're playing the weird Android card though, because it's saturation with handsets, but there won't be that problem with I'm running Android 2.2. I'm running because it's severely regulated. You have to have very specific specs to be able to make a Win Phone 7.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
think
that's good, though,
They're
because
kind
that
of
means we're gonna
learning from
live-
Android's
Yeah.
problems.
Because that's the
which is
problem
like
with Android.
Microsoft's making progress. What?
Well, that's the problem with Android phones is that you have a huge spectrum of different phones, different specs.
Yeah.
But the Android operating system, of course, doesn't run on them all.
No.
And there's
Yeah.
no standardization.
So
No.
it really be hopes that because all these phones have to be built the same way, that when they come out with Win 7.1 or 7.2, that
Exactly.
all of them can
Yeah.
get that update
Yeah.
at roughly the same
Because
time.
they have
Exactly.
look, you need this much processing power or more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, you need this much RAM or more. Android doesn't have that at all.
No.
So I think plus Microsoft is charging for the licenses.
Yeah.
So really they're gonna make a pile of money. But I think it looks good. I think there's things that I don't 100% like about it.
I'm still not sold on the UI.
I like some of the UI, not
Yeah.
all of it. The integration's really cool.
I really don't like the
Um,
boxy square part. I think it's just...
That's personal preference,
Yeah,
really.
I know.
I mean, if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like it, you like it. I really like the way the panels go across.
Yes, that part I
Yeah.
do like.
I think the integration with everything is going to be nice because I think they spent a lot of time thinking about that.
Yeah.
Office on there is going to be sweet if you use Office. If you don't, you're not going to care at all. But if I could have Outlook on my phone for work, that would be freaking ridiculous.
It really would. It would cut down on... It would...
I would not want a BlackBerry. I'd want that.
Yeah, because that would cut down... One, that would save companies a horrendous amount of money.
Yeah.
Because you'd be using Exchange instead of using
Yeah.
BlackBerry Exchange and all
Yeah.
of that. So unfortunately,
But
RIM,
it
you gotta
looks-
watch yourself now.
Well, yeah, we'll see what they do, but that's a different story.
Firm's got too much infrastructure in place already.
But
Yeah.
it looks good.
That's
Also, if you're a Mac user, yes, you can buy a Windows Phone 7 because they're releasing sync software, not Zune software. It's not. It's not a media player. It will not get you the Zune pass. It won't. But it will sync all your media and that kind of thing to your phone.
Excellent.
So, I think they had to do that.
Yeah.
But it's a...
But and you know what? I think the way it's designed, it wouldn't be weird to own a Mac and a Windows Phone 7.
No.
I think there's a pretty big disconnect between phones. I mean, there's lots of people that have iPhones that have no intention of ever owning an Apple computer.
Hey.
Well, you kind of want an Apple computer.
Mine's not even synced up to my Apple.
So, but
I'm
anyway,
using my PC for mine.
Windows Phone 7 is coming out in the next couple of weeks, so it's pretty exciting. Rogers is carrying it here for sure in Canada.
Okay.
They announced that, I think, as soon as that announcement came out. Haven't heard anything from Bell or Telus. Wouldn't be surprised if maybe Rogers paid for an exclusive,
Yeah.
like they did with Android and iPhone. So you never know. But if you do want one, they think they have 2 or 3 handsets lined up. So it's pretty cool.
Cool.
If you want to check it out.
I was going to say Samsung's got one released, from what I heard.
Not here yet because they're not. It's not out yet.
Yeah.
It's November.
November sometime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in November throughout the month. But check your Rogers store if you want. I'm sure they could tell you more specifics.
So last thing on the docket today, we're talking about Boxy Box. Which
We've
in
talked
the
about
advent-
before.
Yeah, in the advent of all these media players that you plug into your TV, this one actually looks like it's got a pretty good set of features and a pretty decent price point.
It looks really cool, the design, unless you want to stack your stuff.
Yes.
Maybe it'll go on top. It'll go on top.
Yeah, but I mean,
The
it looks,
monolith
it
on top of
looks
everything else.
really cool though.
So basically, Boxy contracted D-Link to build this. So it is a D-Link box. They're a good hardware manufacturer, which is nice. It's not some random company out of Hong Kong or whatever. We've talked about the specs before. You know, it's a media player. It's not a PC.
It plays virtually everything, which is really
but
the
the thing
important
is,
part.
if you've played with the Boxy software is way better than any other interface for media on the TV I've ever used.
Yeah.
In terms of incorporating everything easily.
And the really cool thing, too, is that in conjunction with the software, the remote is a regular remote on one side, and you flip it over, and it's a keyboard on the other side, which is really awesome.
So you can search, I mean, it'll do Hulu, YouTube,
Netflix.
It does, it'll stream from your computer. You can plug a hard drive into it.
Yeah, it'll connect to a NAS drive as well.
Which most will not allow. A lot of them you can't plug your drive in.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. So that's a huge feature. It's got networking built in. I think it's a really cool box. It's a $199.
$199, yeah.
It's
But
coming
it should
out.
be noted that the the interface for it has gone under changes, because when people saw the beta for it, they weren't impressed. The fact
But it retains
that
a
they
lot
changed-
of its
no,
features,
it
yeah.
did. It did. The fact that they
the
actually
version
went
of
through it,
Boxy
though.
that's out right now
Yeah.
is not beta.
Oh no.
They're well out of beta now.
Okay. Because there was one, I was hearing the interface was something that they thought was a little bit janky, and they finally fixed it apparently.
No, this is not new.
Oh, thank God.
Their interface has been. They've gone through stages. Boxy's been around as software for a long time.
Yeah.
And I used it way back when it was literally built off Xbox Media Center, which was built for the hacked Xbox.
Xbox, yeah.
So Boxy was like, oh, well, we can build off this, and they made something way better.
Yeah.
Just way better. And I've been using Boxy ever since then on my TV, on my desktop, a lot. And basically about a year ago, they came out of beta into full version.
Okay.
Or something like that. And then they did change the UI a little bit along the way.
Yeah.
With a couple patches and that. But for the last 6 months,
Okay.
it's been fairly set in stone, and that's what will ship on the Boxy box.
Because this is definitely one of the ones I've been watching for just streaming everything, like for a media tomb. This is something I want.
Yeah. And the cool thing is, people who aren't geeks have been talking to me about Boxy.
Yeah.
Because like, dude, have you seen this? I'm like, yeah, I've been using it for 5 years.
Well, you know, the thing
But,
is,
like,
its interface and the design of the product really make it stand out.
But
Yeah.
that's what I want to happen, because Boxy, I've heard interviews with the CEO, really cool guy. He's kind of like, we can't compete with Apple TV. We can't. We don't have the market presence that Apple does. You never will, right? Even though arguably Boxy's a way better product.
Yeah.
It just does way more, right? And I mean, yeah, it's more expensive, but you get more. So, you know, it's an argument there. But he's kind of like, you know, if we can target those geeks, there's enough out there to buy it to support it.
Yeah.
And then we can move from there. But I think they're doing a pretty good job, because it's been in the Best Buy ads for the last month,
Yeah.
saying Boxy box is coming, and everyone else is seeing all the other boxes coming out. So I think it's kind of moving better than they had hoped, I think.
Yeah.
So Best Buy is carrying it up here for sure, and it ships November 10th.
All right, well, that wraps up Tech Insight this week, and we'll be right back with Lull of the Week. It's that time. It's Lull of the Week. We try to make you laugh with funny stuff that happens on the internet. This week, we got another college humor video. I know we do that a lot, but they make great stuff.
They do
so
make really funny stuff. That's
it's great fodder for our
Yeah.
show. This week, they've got a really great clip that's basically, what if all movies had smartphones in them? And just looks at a couple of different ideas of what would happen in some classic movies if smartphones had been around to solve the problems instead. So check it out.
What did you say your name was again?
Verbal Kint. Why?
Officers!
Hey. Kint's final words. Rosebud. The scoop of the century. But none of us know what it means.
A long-lost lover.
A secret password.
Hey, check this out, boys. Wikipedia says that Rosebud was the name of a popular brand of sleds while Kane was growing up.
I don't understand. How did he find us?
I do not know. It is impossible.
John!
What? I'm almost the mayor of the liquid nitrogen factory.
If that plane leaves the ground and you're not on it, you're gonna regret it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon.
I actually just got the next flight, so no rush.
Cool. Let's get a gelato and talk it out.
I wish I was never born.
I'm gonna grant you your wish. I'm gonna show you what life would be like if you never existed. Press play.
That's something, huh? I guess I shouldn't try to kill myself. Thanks. Hey, check this out. This guy's ripping the song off.
You know, it's funny because sometimes I watch movies and I go, "Oh, you're doing it wrong," or "You're doing it's stupid."
Well, that's
and
what you're
it's,
supposed to. That's the whole thing.
I know. So I really like this because the idea is like the answer was so clear. If only we had just done some research first. And
Google has finally saved our lives.
I like the idea of seeing what Casablanca would be like if there was a smartphone at the end scene. Although anyway, it's good stuff. If you've seen the movies, you'll appreciate the humor because obviously it would have a drastic different. The movies would be a lot shorter because of those smartphones.
You know what could really use one though?
What?
Bloody Blade Runner.
Yeah, probably. Oh, I'm a robot. Damn.
Before VO, Blade Runner really could have used something for that.
Probably.
But
anyway, that brings us to the end of the show this week. As per usual, if you want to get a hold of us, you can follow us on Twitter at almost_Friday.
And if you can't find us on Twitter, just email us at contact@almostfridayshow.com, and we'll be happy to answer any questions. If you have any suggestions, tell us what they are. If you want to see something get blown up, we'll do what we can.
We're really not promising anything.
No.
Because we don't like to let him near explosives.
Power tools are your friends.
We lost a friend that way.
Poor Jimmy. He was so small. But he tasted good.
Oh. Until next time, make sure that you use that damn smartphone to solve that argument you just had with your friend.